Good evening. In 2004, during combat operations in Iraq, one of the gunners on a Humvee was a female who had just arrived. And as we got onto the forward operating base, we had to go through a gate. As the convoy began to go through the gate, the female gunner, who was actively looking around, making sure that nobody was around as they entered that gate. Within seconds, that female Army cook turned her turret and opened fire on a vehicle that was loaded with explosives. If it was not for that soldier, the entire convoy would have suffered massive casualties. Women have been a part of the United States military since the Revolutionary War, serving as surgeons, doctors, nurses, and quartermasters. In a nation that has been in war for the past 15 years, women have died on the front lines next to their male counterparts. Serving in the Army is now for 13 years as a chaplain assistant. I've worked in combat units that have started to integrate females into those combat roles, and these are typically reserved for male soldiers. Today, I will try to persuade you in questioning traditional male and female roles in the Army and why women should consider for all military occupational specialties to include infantry and especially other combat roles. The idea of women being recognized in the military is the first step in recognizing their validity as soldiers. The fight for women and the fight for women's role in combat starts with stereotyping. Females are typically seen as the weak link in the Army. For generations, females are known to be that group of individuals that male infantry soldiers don't want to see when they're out in the field, when they're in combat. It is believed that females are looked at as that weak link, not emotionally stable. They provide a motherly instinct, and there is no standard. In an article by Gerald DeGroot titled "A Few Good Men and a Few Good Women," stated that the women are genetically programmed for a caring role and cannot therefore summon the aggressive impulses necessary for effective soldiering. That's my case to you all, is that I feel that women are capable of serving in combat roles and hitting that aggressive pattern to where if they need to save their battle buddy or to shoot somebody, they can do it. So we want to talk about how we can prove them wrong, prove everyone wrong. The Army has conducted testing on introducing females into combat arms. In 2011, that was the beginning. It was the first step for the first female Ranger School graduate. There has now been several graduates of the Army Premier Combat Leadership School. It is possible to train women to become effective soldiers, just as it is with men. There are females serving the Army today that are waiting for that opportunity to serve, and as new recruits, waiting for that chance. Consequently, though, we have to look at where women can improve on. Strength. That is one thing that they've been known to not have a lot of. But strength is in the eye of the beholder. Strength is one of the biggest parts of the Army performance. Females are separated from the very beginning of their career during the physical fitness test. During basic training, the female integration has begun with physical tasks like fireman carries and dragging casualties. On my minimum standard for the Army PT chart, it shows males and females and the categories for each age group. So one correlation that I could see is that based on the sit-ups, they're the same. Females and males share the same core competencies in terms of strength in their body. Females, though, have different score requirements than males, which makes them seem inferior to males. In addition, the United States researching the roles of women in combat, other countries in the world have already made that transition. Allied nations across the United Nations has allowed women in combat roles. Over 8 Allied nations allow women to serve in some capacity of combat arms. In 1985, Norway became the first country in NATO to allow women to serve in all combat capacities, including submarines. They require all women to serve in combat roles. And as long as they can meet those standards, they qualify. Can women face adversity and still exceed those expectations? In an article from National Geographic, the Israeli Defense Force found that women often exhibit superior skills in discipline, motivation, and shooting abilities, yet still face prejudicial treatment stemming from a perceived threat to the historical male identity. Growing up resilient and having the ability to bounce back from things foster an environment of an emotional stability, which is what the military is really looking for. Gender equality continues to be a hot topic in the United States. If women continue to be stereotyped as the weaker link and held to a lower standard, women will never be taken seriously enough in the military and as an equal part of the workforce. Asking women to serve in combat roles is vital to the development of our nation. Volunteering to step into those roles is the best way a woman can help those create that or loosen that gender gap. Families need to become more involved in the development of their children's future and push them to serve their country faithfully and honorably. The benefits are plentiful if only the effort is put into becoming what many females dream of doing, serving in the military in combat roles. Thank you.